as we're getting closer to Team of the Season, I wanted to run through some of the strikers as we have had a massive update over the past 2 weeks. With this Golazo promo, they have absolutely taken over. If you've not been around for it, they're cheap. They are literally worth pennies in some cases. Obviously, there's still some expensive ones, so let's just go through the list of strikers I've got in front of us. If we're going to be looking at the top ones, obviously, Ham is going to be up there. We're looking probably at Pele, at Cruyff. A lot of the top end ones are going to be the normal players but upgraded. We could see between Pele, Cruyff, R9, Puskás. Then obviously if you throw in, to be fair, I'd probably even go Henry this year. Henry has been just nuts. They've upgraded the base, which was absolutely fantastic to start with him. Just from the base alone, when you look at the card, compared to previous ones, that used to be a crazy low end in comparison. Like we look at the base of him here, we're looking at 66, and you might think a plus 10 is surely doesn't make that difference. Honestly, for Henry, it really did. Let alone that, we've actually had some solid upgrades for him. Started off with the Thunderstruck, we then move on to the lovely Future Stars for him, and he again is brilliant. He's always kept his Rapid Plus, which is fantastic in itself, and then obviously gaining the Finesse is always going to be a nice bonus. So he is an easy one in that top category, and I don't think you need much more argument with the rest of them, to be fair. Then we look at the likes of Mia Hamm. Now, she is still phenomenal in herself. The reason why I've added her, because normally I only add one of the players. For instance, I haven't added an R9 and a normal R9 because 9 times out of 10, they more than likely have either fallen off or they're the same. Like an R9 base is still going to be in that S+. He's still fantastic. But when we look at someone like Mia Hamm's SBC, it's now in at 1.8, which is a decent value for the card that she is. She's a 5/5, she's got herself the Power Shot Plus, stats are fantastic, she's a very, very good card regardless. But the big thing with her is, I don't think the SBC is worth it anymore. At 1.8, especially with Team of the Season coming around so close, I just wouldn't bother just yet. When we get Team of the Season, we've got until the 31st of May for us, so there is a long time to be able to grind this one out, and you are going to need all your coins ready for this new Team of the Season. But first, a word from the sponsor. So if you're looking to improve your team, make sure you're heading over to lootbar.gg. They are the best and most reliable coin service you can find. Also with the best 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using the code JT11, 8% off your first ever transaction, and then 5% off every time after that. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. So if you don't need any coins, that's the place to go to get any of these players, to be honest. You're not going to get them without it. And then we move into the rest of them. Now, I think when it comes to the Golazo promo, we got some absolute hitters. We obviously got Francescoli, we got Keane, we got Villali, a fantastic new Berbatov, which I'm very happy as. Van Persie, Prince, we'll throw Cantona into that mix. Lineker as well. Cantona's a little bit more expensive, and we also got a big boy Ginola. Now, in terms of a lot of these, when we do go to the promo, we can obviously see that Villali, 43,000. It's just crazy in itself. We then look at Keane at 32,000. There is a second version, but to be honest, you're only going for the top. 43 for our boy Lineker, 2.9 for Puskás, which is fair enough. And then we also had Team 1, which has Berbatov at 150, Prince 94 at 50, one of the cheapest 94s you can get. Then obviously if you go a bit further down, 80k for Francescoli, and then Van Persie at 59. I mean, the prices are just nuts. And honestly, you'd think at that price, could they be good? Are they actually worth it? And honestly, yes. Some of them, I've seen them now more times than not. Do we have a Drogba? Yeah, we do have a Drogba in here as well. Drogba's just crazy in himself as well. He is. How much is he coming in at now? I know he was a little bit more expensive. 380. For a Drogba card, I mean, there's no complaining at that whatsoever. If I was to rank them, I think Ginola for me would go into the top quite easily. I think Drogba would definitely go into the S. For the price, he is definitely amongst the top of the top. I would go Cantona into... Oh, would I go S plus for him? I'd probably go S just after a few games with him. Once we've got the first weekend league out of the way, I might be able to make a better ranking. But from what I've seen so far, I don't know if I'd choose him over many of these personally, but we'll soon see. We got Francescoli, I'd put down one. I'd say Keane there. Berbatov is phenomenal. Genuinely really, really good. I'd then go Valali here. I'd go him here. Prince is one of them ones that I think in terms of pricing, she's very close to that S, but I've got to be realistic with it as well. And then we have the rest of them. I must admit the build-up to the Golazo promo as well and Team of the Season in general. We had Fantasy, which had some really good upgrades. I think most, if not all of them now, are at their final game, so they've completely finished all their upgrades. I'm pretty sure. There may be a couple of stragglers, but I'm pretty sure everybody on this list should be fully evolved now to the point. And then obviously we got Future Stars, we've got Ultimate Birthday that was phenomenal, and then the icons to follow as well. Obviously, there's a couple of Team of the Years still trailing behind. Ronaldo would definitely go up there. Smith and Kerr and probably Pop now would probably go down one, just into the level of what we've got here. I would again choose all of these over them. Not to say they're bad, but in terms of breaking it down, that is kind of where I'd go with them. If I was looking at any more S pluses, Hullet's got to be up there, but he's kind of a bit of a catch-22 because, to be honest, if I had Hullet, I'd definitely be playing him in the midfield, but I still think he could do absolute numbers pretty much in most positions. I think down that spine, he could do anything and not be a problem whatsoever. And it's kind of brought everybody else down as well. When you look at your Moikokos, you look at your Rasmuses, they aren't really competing too much on the top level anymore because of the progression. Kolo Muani definitely will do. If you finish that objective, he's a brilliant card. Well worth the free objective if you can get it grinded out pretty quickly. Very, very good. It was looking at a couple of the fantasies. I'd say Brolin and Smolarek have definitely downgraded now into the A+. Again, when it comes to the progression of the game, you'd expect the new cards to take over. And as we know, someone like a Cruyff, he will always be at the top. And someone like a Drogba, once we get Team of the Season, once we get footies, he again will drop down as we continue. Some people just are very good in the game. Some people do lose progression stats. Griezmann, definitely up there. Absolutely love him this year. I think he is fantastic. I'd argue Rooney as well. I could be lenient to say that he's in the S and you could drop him down, but I'm being lenient with him. He's a very good version of Rooney. One of the best we've seen other than the cover star last year. I think the base, mid and prime just didn't give him that much justice in my opinion. Kelly Smith would go in the A+. If I was looking more towards the B side of stuff, I'd probably go Danjuma as an A. I'd probably go Aspas as an A as well. Closer... Am I being too lenient here? I think if we're looking... I see most of them are not really B+ anymore, to be honest. I think if I'm kind of going for more of a B+, I don't even know if I'd go... I think I'd probably go Rasmussen A still, to be honest. Moikoko is definitely going in that A as well. Shevchenko... Again, it's a bigger upgrade for him. You know what? We'll get rid of the B+, because I think I've chosen a lot more cards. Oh, to be fair, Sorloth could probably go in there. Shall I add it back? So we've added it back. Sorloth can go in there. Again, a card that is just naturally good with progression, but he will eventually just fall off as we don't get any more cards with him. Jota as a 5-5, I'd definitely go into that A+. Jonathan David would be the same as well. Lovely. Is he? Yeah, he's a 5-5 as well, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. Oh, I've just clicked Ginola. Brilliant. What is he? David. He's coming in as, yeah, it's going to say a 5-5, 38,000. It's just brilliant. First touch Travella, great stats across the board. Always love to see it. Even the composure stats up there, never going to complain. Rashi, I'd now go into the A+. I think he needs a big upgrade to put a big more statement back on him. Lacazette, to be fair, a lot of these players now are getting to the point where we're waiting for the next upgrade. The Team of the Season is going to blow the lid off absolutely everything. Because normally what you find with it is the progression of Team of the Season, especially if they were to add the triple playstyle plus. Everyone's going to be becoming obsolete, bar from the top people. And once we get into the Prem, into the Serie A, the La Liga, there's just going to be, 30 more strikers across the board that are just going to take everybody's spots here. Jesus, it's a shame with him. He really should be a good card, but I just really don't like him in this game. Its footage is normally pretty good when he eventually gets one. Whether we do see something later on this year, it will be interesting with the Euros because there'll be a lot of European cards that have gone through the roof. The footage will kind of be the rest of the world, I'm assuming, as well as maybe some upgrades, but it should be very interesting for them. Nunez, I still think in-game he's absolutely quality. Dalglish, see, Dalglish is still, he's timeless. Even his normal card, his base card is still very good in the game. I'd probably go more to the A+A now, but definitely still up there. We'll go closer into there. Openda, bit expensive for what he was, but still very pacey, but unfortunately very blocky at times as well. This is a fantastic free card as well. Don't know if I'd quite go into the S, but I think as a free card, one of the better cards you could actually get. Sonny Baby, easy 5-5 up there. Same with Hugo Sanchez. I thought he was absolute talent. Butra will follow him quite easily. Zola. You know what? I still rate Zola in this game. Ian Wright and also Van Nistelrooy will easily go into the A+. I think the upgrades on both of them, when we look at Lineker's, look at Van Nistelrooy's right, and I'm pretty sure there was somebody else. Don't know if it was Hugo Sanchez. There was somebody else. Oh, it's closer. The upgrades from their base, from being completely unusable, like Van Nistelrooy was never usable, Closer wasn't. Ian Wright was to some extent. You'd not choose him, but at least he had some pace. Kind of like Lineker, but now with that bigger upgrade, so much better to play with. Eusebio is definitely in that S+. You could argue he may have dropped down a little bit, but I still think he is just unrecognizable in the game. He is fantastic, even with that SBC during Centurions. Like, that's nuts to think how long ago that was. We then have Tevez. I'd still stick him. I'd still stick him in the S. I don't think he'd quite come down just yet. Werner's got to be up there. He has been one of the better SBCs we've had for a long time as well. Big Boy Benz, easy one up there. Alex Morgan, it's quite a simple one really. Oshiman, very much like Lawan, I'd go more towards an A+ now. You could even probably say he's dropped down even more. Raul, very good card this year. We're never going to argue with that. Vinny as a striker, I'd say more S. S+ definitely if we're looking left wing, but as a striker, I think he definitely just comes underneath the top of the top there. Harry Kane, I kind of prefer him to Lewandowski this year, I must admit. I don't know what it is with him, because normally Harry Kane, Lewandowski, even Oshiman to some extent, because, well, I suppose Oshiman's got the pace, but he's still a very big and bulky striker at times. Kane this year has just got an absolute foot and a half. Gerd Muller, I'd still go in the S. Stoichkov, I'd be very close to putting in that S+. He is absolutely brilliant as well. In terms of a card, he's coming in at a whopping 2.8 mil. He's got the 5-5, which we all know and love. He's obviously got incredible stats across the board. He's just a brilliant card. I think the only thing that I don't like from him, and it's just a me thing there, is just the technical. The technical and the first touch together, technical's just not my sprinting style. I like the rapid, especially on strikers. I'd even take quick step to some advantage, but for me, I think that is what really stops him in my opinion. Then obviously we have striker Salah and striker Neymar. I don't think there's really too many arguments there. Winger wise, they are the best of the best. They are absolutely incredible. When it comes down to being a striker, I think they are very, very good. Salah more so than Neymar, I think. I think Neymar is very much more the dribbling, tricky player, whereas I think Salah has that pace to burst forward. I just think that they are better as wingers. They play well as strikers, but they're better as wingers. And that is going to be the list. Let me know down below what you think, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.